Continuing our ongoing series and covering the development/evolution of small arms in the Baltic nations, let's look at submachine guns and personal defense weapons, or PDWs, and how they've changed over time for Lithuania's armed forces. There isn't too much to look at, so this video won't be too long. Immediately after independence, the Lithuanian armed forces faced a severe shortage of firearms. The Soviet government forbade official transfers to the breakaway republics, and so only a few under-the-table deals occurred with withdrawing Soviet officers. Western countries were hesitant to trust the new Baltic governments, and limited funding only further restricted procurement opportunities. During this transitional period, when Lithuania was technically independent but still occupied by Soviet forces, one man stepped up: Algirdas Petrusevičius, a former resistance fighter, Gulag survivor, and self-taught weapons designer. He developed the Vytis series of blowback-operated submachine guns, initially chambered in 9x18mm Makarov, later switching to 9x19mm Luger as Western ammo became available. Though exact production figures are unclear, the weapons were made in very limited numbers and likely saw service only among Scout volunteers before more standardized arms arrived. While never mass-produced or officially adopted, the Vytis exemplifies the challenges of rebuilding military capability under uncertain conditions. By the mid to late 1990s, the AKS-74U began appearing in Lithuanian service. A compact select-fire weapon with a long-stroke gas piston system, it was chambered in 5.45x39mm, but used more like a PDW. Despite being a rifle, its short barrel and folding stock made it highly portable, ideal for close protection, vehicle crews, and elite law enforcement units. Compared to traditional 9mm submachine guns, it offered greater range and armor penetration in a similarly compact form. Although phased out of military service, it can still be seen in the hands of the law enforcement. The Uzi was another submachine gun prominent in Lithuania's armed forces throughout the 1990s. This is a blowback, select-fired Israeli-made weapon which uses 9x19mm ammunition. Coming from Israeli surplus, the adoption of this weapon was Lithuania's way of aligning itself with NATO standards. It was eventually phased out in the 2000s and replaced with more modern weapons. And getting into the 2000s, it was in this new millennium that Lithuania's armed forces would adopt the German-made Heckler Koch UMP submachine gun, a 9x19mm roller-delayed blowback select-fire weapon. It was the standard submachine gun for the country's special forces and was acquired during the global war on terror era of procurement. During the 2010s, Lithuania's armed forces would move to the Heckler Koch UMP. Available in several versions with different calibers, Lithuania had the .45 ACP and 9x19mm versions of this blowback select-fire weapon. It was used by Special Operations Forces, but only in very limited numbers. And now we've reached our final entry to this category, the Heckler Koch MP7, or MP7A2 to be more precise. These entered service around 2023 and 2024 and are short-stroke gas piston select-fire weapons using 4.6x30mm ammo. Over 800 of these weapons were procured, with the Lithuanian Ministry of Defense stating that the deal was valued at 1.3 million euros. The ministry noted that the weapons were chosen for their tactical and technical characteristics, such as weight, rate of fire, and armor penetration. These 4.6x30mm PDWs were developed and standardized in NATO armies to meet the needs of operations in confined spaces. The government added that due to the reduced caliber of the bullet but increased powder charge in the barrel, the MP7A2 has greater penetration power, higher velocity, and meets the requirements for rapid fire. It added that the 4.6x30mm ammunition allows for penetration of ballistic protection, which is not possible with 9x19mm ammunition. At the same time, the lower weight and reduced bullet caliber allow a soldier to carry almost twice as much ammunition. The ministry also said that these weapons weren't just acquired in accordance with the Army's long-term capability development plans, but also in response to the demands of the daily changing security situation in the region and lessons learned from Ukraine. The MP7 will most likely be used by vehicle crews as well as Lithuanian special forces. So that's the story with Lithuania's submachine guns and personal defense weapons from the early 1990s until now in the mid-2020s. What do you think of the country's choice of weapons? Let us know by leaving a comment.